Thank you very much for your answer, and I'm actually pleased that you talk like that. On the other side, my own experience is like that, that it's not fitting to the codex, but I could share a little bit with you.
Yes, yeah.
Like for example, my first Guru Maharaj, who I appreciated, still appreciating, and he left the movement, Hari Swami.
Harikesh Maharaj, yes.
He has done a huge seva and
Book distribution.
book distribution, yeah, of course.
I was book distributor, so everybody knows about Harikesh.
Yes, yes. And me too.
And I met him also many times when he came to America, in New York and Boston and other places as well. I got his association. I had my own personal experience with him. And so I was very inspired by how he could inspire other people to dedicate their life to distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. So I very much appreciated that, his strength and his ability to encourage people to dedicate their life to that seva. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah, and he has done a lot for Mayapur project. He has done a lot for Mayapur project.
Yes, also a finance, yeah.
And but I will still talk abstract, not with the names, because it's like.
And then what? I'm sorry.
Then I will still, what I want to say, it's more abstract, like, for example, how to.
Do you know why Maharaj fell down?
Well,
Can I tell you why? I know exactly why he fell down. Because a personality on that platform who's doing that much seva, who is such prominent personality, the only possible way he can fall from that position is because of Vaishnava aparad. And it's sad, it's a sad truth, but he was the biggest offender against Srila Govinda Swami. He was very, very...
I'm very sorry for that.
He was very, very offensive against Maharaj. And even other GBC members, they told him and told us, they were horrified by how he was attacking Srila Govinda Swami. And it can only be that kind of such a severe offense to bring down such a, Maharati, such a soldier. This only because of that. And it's a warning to all of us. It's really true. And whenever I meet Maharaj, Harikesh disciples in Armenia, I met all of them when I went to Armenia. The original books, the original book makers in those places, in those farms, in those garages. I went there. I associated with them after Maharaj fell down and left. They were in complete shock. They were literally they were devastated by this situation. After what they went through and what they sacrificed, this is no small thing. And I'm like a younger devotee walking into that situation knowing how it is that he fell down. And I was like, I don't want to just tell these devotees. So I'm just trying to encourage them and appreciate whatever seva they did, because I knew this is going to take time for everybody to just somehow or other digest it and pray about it and take shelter of Srila Prabhupada, and that, over time, when it's not so painful, devotees will start to contemplate and understand that this is not an ordinary event for this type of personality who's done so much for the institution to go down like this. It can only be like this. So now I'm just being very honest with you. I'm not a fanatical disciple of my guru. I'm just telling that all those Vaishnavas, all the GBC, all of those devotees, right, who I had friendship with at that time especially, everybody said that he made this mistake. And it wasn't just him. There was 5 of them. And all 5 of them fell down or died. Because they don't realize, because they're blind. They're deaf, dumb, and blind. They got puffed up. And they were in material consciousness, materially motivated, too much asatsanga, and now you're putting yourself in a position that you don't know who's who. What is what? And Maharaj is so humble, he's not establishing himself, right? They miscalculated him. And they made that mistake. And people, you make mistake, okay, you get a reaction, and you're like, wow, this reaction is hatimata, right? You would immediately, like Durvasa Muni, you'd have a chakra chasing you, and you'd be like looking for relief, right? And then you go to, Vishnu Loka, and he said, no, I cannot help you. Because you committed that Vaishnava aparad, you have to go there. And you have to beg excuse there. That's the only way you'll get released from that offense. I'm sorry, to interrupt you, but I just wanted to.
We talk about that today, and my husband said today, it is only because after many days, after many years, we still speaking something, and he's told to me today, it is only possible because he has done aparad.
Yes.
Vaishnava.
Aparad. Other ones can be adjusted, but this one.
And it is still, Europe is devastated from this.
I was going to these temples in Armenia and in Russia and in the Baltics after Maharaj.
Germany, Switzerland, Austria, it's just a huge zone, Yugoslavia.
Georgia.
Georgia, of course.
Right.
It's North Europe, complete North Europe.
Exactly. So now we're coming in there after that. It's like going into like a war zone where everyone's either dead or gone, or the family members are in such shock that they're just walking around like almost like like you lost your children, your family, your father. So that's what we were walking into. And then when I went in there, nobody coming to the temple, everybody lost faith, no one could say anything to rebuild their faith and to give them, confidence and shelter and protection. And especially if you're going there 1-2 days in a year, like what are you going to say to these people? So I just stayed there for months and preached to them like 10, 15 hours a day. And they gradually started coming back. And when they started coming back and they started putting on sari and dhoti and becoming devotee, and then I was just, gradually trying to help them, encourage them. And the local authorities got so nervous about me because they said, this guy's becoming too prominent here. And so now he's a threat to our guru. So now we have to throw him and his people out of the temple. So this is very, very sad, disturbing situation. Look, you can't go there and help these people. Either you're too busy, you have too many zones, you have too many temples. Okay, let's give you that excuse. But get somebody there who can take care of them, who can answer their question, who can give them some strength and support and keep them alive until they can rebuild some kind of faith or dedication again to serve within the institution. And neither you can do that. And then someone's willing to do it and is capable and empowered to do it by mercy of Guru Krishna, and that you're stopping on top of it. So this cannot last like this. This whole thing, this whole nonsense, this bridge preaching and all of this sentimentalism and all the deviations, this thing is not gonna last because it's all apasadanta. And it's very deep-rooted. These people are brainwashed into this type of indoctrination, even within this institution. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Absolutely true. And I wanted to confirm another point that you made. There was a Ghostbuster. He was asked by our Guru Murali Swami, his name was Chideshwar, from Orissa.
Tell me.
He says that there was a Ghostbuster from Orissa called Chiteshwara.
Yes, you know him.
I know him.
Did he get rid of a few ghosts for you?
I didn't watch, but everybody else did. And Hare Krishna he did.
I wonder how much it cost,
Because he got very mentally disturbed, I guess, because of the offenses.
Yeah.
He got really heavy mental problems, lost all enthusiasm, and it was. So he took shelter of this Ghostbuster, Chiteshwara. Yes, and he gave him some special medicine to get healed, and this medicine later we had it in the laboratory, researched it. It was a heavy.
So Chiteshwara gave him some medicine to Maharaj, and they had it analyzed.
Yeah.
And he's going to say what was in it.
Yes, and it was very heavy psychopharma drugs.
Psychedelic drugs.
Not psychedelic, but
Psychotropic.
Psychotropic.
yes, yes. And he got addicted to this, and his whole mental status, everything got worse and worse. And,
But he got rid of the ghost, right? It became to a point where they were saying, this Maharaj had 7 ghosts, and this one had 11 ghosts, and this one only had 3 ghosts, right? So Prabhupada said, if you chant Shuddha Nam, you chant pure holy name, you're not going to have ghosts. This is madness, a complete madness. Huh? What?
Even Namabhas?
Namabhas.
Yes, Namabhas. Yes, exactly. So this is the problem. I'll be really honest with you. Many of my godbrothers, godsisters, they had 2, 3 gurus in ISKCON, and who fell down, left, whatever, right? The GBC in the 1980s, they wrote a letter and said, if you want a guru who's not going to fall down, you should all go to Srila Govinda Swami. Because they understood, if this happens to these people one more time, they're finished. So they just said, okay, you have one last chance, is to go to Srila Govinda Swami. So many of my godbrothers and godsisters, we were like a bunch of misfits. We're just like a bunch of, people who lost, 2, 3 different gurus who destroyed. So when we showed up in Bhubaneswar, we were really broken people. Because you get your heart broken like that, even once is so damaging. And then you build up again some faith, and again, and then again. So Srila Govinda Swami was literally taking people who were devastated spiritually with practically no faith, just hanging by a thread because of Prabhupada, because they really want to be devotee. And he nursed these people. He nursed us back to spiritual health. So when we came, we had like little to no faith in ISKCON. I'll be really honest with you. Okay? And what happened was, Srila Guru, I told Maharaj the first day that I met him, I said, Maharaj, I have no faith in ISKCON. And he said, no, ISKCON is Mahaprabhu's movement, Baba. And just that one sentence from that personality, after years of no faith, one sentence from him, immediately he gave me faith. And I used to tell devotees, if you lined up every single guru, temple president, leader, GBC, all of them, none of them could have convinced me at that point. And this personality, by one sentence and his level of faith and purity, instilled that faith into my broken heart. And I saw him do that repeatedly to the most damaged people who were forgotten and rejected and destroyed otherwise. So when I am speaking about what I saw personally and collectively, his potency to rebuild these people's faith and reestablish them in devotional service, that's my experience and my faith. And I'm not a fanatical disciple. I'm not just saying, oh, my guru. I'm saying practically, honestly, scientifically, it's a fact. And the fact that these devotees didn't understand that, and they all died or fell down, that's to show. If it's just some ordinary person, it's not such a big deal. But when you have Durvasa Muni, or you have some big Maharatis, big soldiers, and they go down, everyone's shocked. Then many people could understand that we totally miscalculated this Maharaj, because he's so humble and he's not pushing himself forward and he's not demanding respect and he's not trying to be politically correct. They were blind. They were spiritually deaf, dumb, and blind because they didn't get mercy from Krishna and they didn't get mercy from that sadhu. And that's what is required. And then otherwise, if we don't understand that, we're going to make the same mistake again and again. And so we're setting ourselves up by this kind of idea, well, maybe he's my guru, or he's nice, he's a gentleman, he's this, he's that. Okay, all of that might be fine. But that's not really what we need. We need like the real deal. And we don't know who is the real deal. We don't know who is Krishna's own man. Krishna knows. And I remember crying before Gaunitai and saying, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what is what. I don't know who is who. But this has got to the point that I'm getting a reaction from my own disqualification and cheating. I don't want to cheat anymore. I can't go through this anymore. I have to completely surrender. Because if I don't, I'm going to make the same mistake again. And that's situation. This is like the silver lining that we can take, that pain of that situation will drive us to go deeper and to be more dependent and more careful and depending on Krishna to understand how to maneuver through that process, because it's too difficult to build your faith and it's so easy to lose it. But they never taught us Guru Tattva. Right? It's just like, it looks spiritual, but it's like, your father or your uncle or your mentor or somebody, you love them. You're attached to them. You're worshiping them. Right? And then they die, you're like crippled, you're like heartbroken. You see? But it's actually a material relationship. It's not a transcendental relationship. How can it be? And you can say, well, at that time, but if he's Krishna's own man, an authorized bona fide guru in parampara, that cannot happen to him. That cannot happen. Immediately, if there's some misunderstanding, immediately Krishna would rectify him. Be careful. But he didn't get that protection. Why he didn't get that protection? Because he's acting in a position in an unauthorized way, and therefore it was not backed up and supported by Krishna Mahaprabhu's parampara. That's the bottom line. And if that's a fact, and they don't know who's a spiritual, who's a Vaishnava, that means you're not a Vaishnava. And if it's not, you can't recognize a Vaishnava, that means you're not a Vaishnava. And therefore, then what is the basis of that relationship? It cannot be a transcendental relationship. It's a materialistic relationship that somehow or other we become attached to and attracted to. And I'm not talking at you because I personally went through this. These people become even more than your own father or your own relative. But how can this happen? Why are they so angry at me because I'm getting mercy? That doesn't make sense. Then you start to add it all up, and you're like, is this really transcendental relationship? If Krishna, Prabhupada give me Srila Gaur Govinda Swami as my guru, whether I had Diksha Harinam or other Shiksha Guru, and you're my well-wisher, how do you not understand that I'm getting mercy from Krishna and Prabhupada and Krishna Parampara? How do you not understand that? Why you're not happy for me? So that was very painful to see that. And I had to go through like 4 or 5 different situations to realize this is not a spiritual relationship. And it had to be broken from it in order to move on and get my lesson into the next situation. So I feel your pain, but I also took shelter of Prabhupada after that, and Prabhupada made an arrangement for me to meet Srila Gaur Govinda Swami. I was not looking for a guru after that. Prabhupada's my guru, and he's still my guru. But Prabhupada knew you need more help. And then he sent his disciple, Srila Gaur Govinda Swami, who answered everything for me, solved everything for me, taught me everything I didn't know. And after all of that, then he asked me, okay, now you go and try to help other devotees. So I'm acting on his instruction with whatever I picked up and experienced through all of that, because there will be many, many devotees in this same category. It's just a matter of time. And then who do they go to? Who do they listen to? Where do they get support or shelter and protection? Who answers their questions? Who gives them, who rebuilds their faith? These people have no idea what are we talking about. They just get another guru. Just select another guru. Right? This is not, you don't know what is Guru Tattva. You didn't train us in the first place. You authorized someone who shouldn't have been authorized. And now we're broken, and now you're telling just go quickly select some other person. This whole thing is completely illegitimate, and it is not according to Guru Sadhu and Shastra, and it will not stand. And the people, the devotees, they will find out. They will learn eventually, maybe even the hard way, but they'll start to understand over time by mercy of Prabhupada, mercy of Krishna, what is what. Because we dedicated our life to Prabhupada and to Prabhupada's institution. And the fact that I'm still here through all of that is only because of Srila Gaura Govinda Swami. I would have left years ago. I was basically like a Ritvik, living in the ISKCON temple, taking care of Prabhupada's rooms, worshipping Prabhupada in his rooms in Los Angeles, worshipping Prabhupada Murti in my house, going out every day distributing Prabhupada's books for Prabhupada's pleasure, reading Prabhupada's books 3 hours a day. Everything was Prabhupada. I wasn't looking for a guru. I have a guru. I have Prabhupada. But Prabhupada knows you need more help. You can't really hear me. And I didn't know I needed more help until he brought Srila Gaura Govinda Swami. So that I wasn't like looking for a guru, but that guru came to me. So sometimes, you'll go to the guru, or the guru will come to you. And all I did was I prayed to Krishna and to Prabhupada, did you send this person to help me? Because it appears to be so. But I need to 108%, I need to be convinced. Then you'll be completely dependent for intelligence and faith from Krishna in your own heart. And until he gives you that intelligence and faith, wait. Just wait. Be patient. And keep praying, keep trying, keep crying to Prabhupada and Krishna, Gaura, and one day, one moment will come where they'll make some arrangement and they'll give you intelligence and faith and say, this is my arrangement. And when I was praying, Prabhupada, did you send this Srila Gaura Govinda Swami? Because this seems like he's here to help me. Even though I didn't need a guru, I'm not looking for a guru, but it appears like he's helping me somehow. So I prayed to Krishna, can you please give me what I'm just telling you? I did. I said, please Krishna, please give me intelligence and faith, whether this is really your man, and what am I supposed to take help from this person? And just when I'm praying like that, Maharaj says to me, he says, Murali, I know my words are pinching you. But you should understand, Murali, I am not your enemy. I am your well-wisher, Murali. Do you understand? I have come here for you, Murali. Won't you help me? Won't you cooperate with me? And immediately, I understood. The Sadguru. And then immediately I turned to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, thank you so much for helping me. I didn't even know I needed help. But you showered this mercy by bringing this personality into my life. And right after the class, Maharaj gave me a garland. And the whole night, I couldn't sleep the whole night. I was completely ecstatic. Because I finally met the Sadguru. I finally met my Guru. Now I feel shelter, protection. That was the happiest moment of my life. After heartbroken so many times. And then the next day I asked Maharaj, please accept me. And he said, Murali, you have accepted me in your heart, and I have accepted you in my heart. And Krishna wants it, it will happen. Just be a little patient because of this institutional consideration. This is always a problem from this institutional point of view. So why, if that's the happiest day of my life, why did my Shiksha Guru and Harinam Guru, why all these people I'm respecting and accepting, why are they not happy for me? Why are they not saying you got blessed, you got mercy from Prabhupada, from Krishna, from Vaishnava? Why are they angry at me? Why are they disturbed by that? That was shocking to me. Then I had to gradually understand and accept the fact that these relationships are not spiritual. Because that reaction, their behavior, proved it. But it was painful because I liked them, I was attached to them. However they tried to help me, I appreciated it. So it was a painful kind of lesson. So I hope that helps you a little bit. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.